Guys, Cube Defense just got its biggest update since Cube Defense Operation Revamp officially released. We're gonna go over all the changes, all the differences, all the insane things that have just happened on Cube Defense in this video, so please consider hitting that like button, hitting that subscribe button in the description down below. You don't have to do so, but it does help me out a lot. It helps you get back. It's a win-win situation, but as always, it is your choice and not mine. Let's get into the video. Alrighty, let's go on ahead and check out the changelog. I'm gonna go ahead and just read this through and through, and I'll make comments on these updates as we go through. We've got a lot to go through, so I'm probably not going to stick along on most of these. Money earned from towers killing cubes is now distributed to all players, not just the owner of the tower, factoring oil rig being the only exception. Alright, I'm sorry, I've got to stop here now because this was actually pretty major. This is insane. Basically, with one player, you're getting normally what you would normally get in a game if you were playing solo. If there are two people in the server, you're getting double as much as what you'd usually get overall. So now you and the same person are getting the exact same amount of money. You're getting about as much as you would get solo, and then they're getting as much as they would normally get solo. So that's like double what you would get solo. Are you guys seeing this? Double what you would get on solo now if you have two people. 3 people, guess what? You have 3 people, it's now 3 times as much money. 4 people, 4 times as much money. 5 people, 5 times as much money. That is insane, to say the least. Money is completely insane. That's absolutely incredible. I don't know whether or not that's a good change or not. I kind of suspect that will be changed back, but at the same time, I'm not really sure if I like that because, to be honest, I kind of like the money system previously in the last update because it felt balanced, felt like you had a limit. You couldn't just go and do a bunch of crazy stuff like you can now. You have to be careful, very careful with your money, and you can't just go and be all easy and stuff on it. So that's definitely different, definitely different there, and I'm not sure what to think about that. But all right, now that we've gone through that very major one, let's go on ahead and continue on. Updated the match teleport system. That's just for bugs, but I believe that was actually a failed update. It didn't actually fix the bugs. Damage indicators re-enabled. That is the little ticks for your damage. That can be nice. I use it to a degree. I mean, I may get rid of it. I don't know. I'm kind of iffy on using that myself personally. Remade all waves on survival, competitive, and trial of Zorvuzo, and that is because they on the next one added new cubes, and there are a lot of cubes. To name a few, Tar Cube, which now replaces Slow Cube. There's new Lightning Cubes, I believe. The Infinity Cubes have been changed because now they spawn a bunch of things. There's now a Warlock Cube. Best cube ever. Warlock Cube is my favorite cube right now because of how beautiful it is. It's purple. It is massive. It's got a massive hat. It is beautiful. I love it. It is amazing. Yes, Warlock Cube also gives like 20 or 25% health back, which is insane. Added cash share, that's the same thing as the money, people getting the money. A stealth bomber enabled and ready to take off. The stealth bomber is now a lot better than it was previously. Stealth bomber is a level 19 tower. It's up there with the, it may be actually level 24. It's right there with the temple and the tomb. It is one of the highest level towers in the game. And because of that, it should have some good damage, and it didn't before it revamped. Now it is more useful as a tower, as it now follows cubes and doesn't just randomly hit them every other shot. I mean, it's really good. However, I will note, if a cube dies as it's firing, the rest of the bombs will not explode. So your bombs will explode only if the cube that it's being targeted is still alive. Once that cube dies, the bombs that are being dropped will no longer explode. That kind of hurts just a little bit, but it's understandable as the code. But I think that it'd be nice if that could be changed back, but I don't know if it can. I don't know how the code's made. It follows the cubes around and makes a noise too. There's the special effect button, the special power button on it as well, except that it doesn't do anything. That button does not seem to be doing anything, at least from what I can tell. If it does something and for some reason I just can't get it to activate, I'm sorry. The oil rig and factories have been buffed, and plantation has been slightly buffed. Each and every one of these towers now gives a lot more money. Oil rig now gives 2,000 per wave. I and then on max, and then factory now gives 125 every hit. That is a lot of money. Money is now, the world of cube defense is now overflowing with money. Money is nothing now. We have some massive inflation. We've had some massive inflation. Cube defense has undergone massive inflation within the past 48 hours. Remove the slowing from Poseidon and buff splash damage. This makes Poseidon a usable tower for people that own Frost Rail. Poseidon used to slow down cubes, and the issue with that, of course, is that with Frost Rail being used, that would break the freezing power of Frost Rail. It would reset the speed of the Frost Rail's freezing ability and remove that freezing early, therefore making the tomb pretty bad to be used with the Frost Rail. They've now removed that effect, making it usable with not only with Frost Rail, but with other guns like Glue Gun, Golden Glue Gun, and it makes it much better whenever it comes to damage towards cubes. The damage, I believe, does a direct 500 along with a splash of 100 at max. That's not horrible, but it's not exceptional, I will admit. I feel like that's still a bit short for that tower. I would almost say buff the tomb just a bit more, but then again, that's just my personal opinion. That's all up to the devs and what they think is right. Buffed Lord damage and damage increased rate to 15 seconds for all tiers, as well as capped Lord's damage on all tiers. I do not believe this was originally listed in the changelog. This is actually recent, I believe, recently added to the changelog. I don't remember it when first reading. I could be wrong. I could have just skipped over it for some reason. It seemed new to me. This changelog has been edited, so that may have something to do with it. But the damage now increases a lot faster, but it has a cap of, I believe, 250. I could be wrong, but I've been told it is 250 damage, so don't take my word on that. Know that may be it. That may be it. Don't take my word on it until you've tested it yourself, because I don't know. I haven't seen it in action. Doubled Holy Flames heal on campfire. That is incredibly important because I forgot to mention earlier some other new cubes include the Sun Cube boss. Actually, not Sun Cube boss, Super Sun Cube boss, and Super Sun Cube boss. I mean, yes, there was a Sun Cube boss, but like it's been changed, I guess. I guess it's not a new cube, it just looks different. And the Super Sun Cube now looks like the old Sun Cube boss. There's also smaller Sun Cubes for those too, and I'm going to talk about those as well. We have 4 Sun Cubes base Sun Cubes in the game. This does not include the White Dwarf Sun Cube and the Black Hole, which is also, I believe, I wouldn't be surprised, acts like a Sun Cube. What do I mean when I say acts like a Sun Cube? The Sun Cube now does damage to you over time as long as it is alive and on the map. So as the Sun Cube is moving on the path, it will be dealing damage to you consistently until eventually you die or you kill it. The damage is dependent on the Sun Cube that you're using, but say you've got 10 of those things on your map, which I've seen before. I've seen that in chaos mode where it got to 10. Actually, you may see it in this clip that you're watching right now. It kills you so fast. It is bad. It gets so insanely bad. There's been requests for debuffs or nerfs, not debuffs. And so I don't know whether that's going to be changed, but it is a bit overpowered. But to combat that, they've doubled Holy Flames heal on campfire. That's just so people would be able to heal quicker there. Increased orbital sites upgrade price, and orbital satellites upgrade prices, and a buff splash damage on all tiers. Small buff, not major. Nothing that I've seen that looks major. I haven't had any major comments on that. The nerf the amount of golden glue guns you can place from 5 to 3. Right now, that's very few people that actually have the golden glue guns. That doesn't matter for that many people right now. I actually haven't even seen it in game yet, so that will be interesting to do. I grinded for a little bit, but that kind of fell out. Buff damage on Stars of Ruzo and all of its upgrades, not including tier 1. Stars of Ruzo is actually a usable tower now. Well, I guess it was a usable tower, but like it's good enough to be used in strategies regularly now. I wasn't seeing it as much, but if you guys go check it out yourself, the tower seems to be doing really, really good. and is doing a lot of damage. I'm liking to have it in my inventory whenever you may see it in this. You probably see it in this gameplay. It is doing a lot more damage with a max of 20 damage. I think it's every 0.1 second, or it's I don't know if it's 0.1 second, but it's a really fast fire rate like all stars usually are, and then 20 damage, which is really impressive. Imagine having 8 of those. That's 160 damage per second if you have 8 of them targeting a cube. That's a lot of damage. They're maxed, of course. You have to max them out. Nerfed Sun Temple range. This one has been complained. Sun Temple definitely is suffering with the nerf of range. Campfires have become a lot more important, not only with health, but also with giving the temple the range that it needs. It's really short now. I don't know the exact numbers, but it's short enough that it can become an issue on some larger maps. You're definitely going to have to be careful with that and know where to place your temples, and be even more careful when placing your temples so you know what your ranges are. On the bright side, it's going to make it easier for you to be able to fit your towers in a certain area and not hit other towers you don't want to hit with the Sun Temple when sacrificing to max out your temple. The nerfed bucket range. That's absurd, by the way. How in the world? Who nerfing bucket range? Like, why in the world? I'm outraged. I'm completely outraged. This is an insult. Reach Sun Temple MK2 placement and upgrade. Reduced Sun Temple MK2 placement and upgrade cost. That's just because it isn't as important as a tower anymore as it used to be, so they've reduced the cost just a little bit to make it more representative of its role here as a support tower. All Sun Cube variants now drain map health, as I stated earlier. 3 new maps, Scattered Sakura, Deserted Desert, and Waterfalls. They're quite beautiful maps, each and every one of them. Deserted Desert is not good for filming though. It's pretty sandy and brown, and it doesn't look good on camera, so I probably be using that one for a lot of cinematic shots, but it does look, it is a good map nonetheless. And then we have some maps that were from easy and medium mode that have now been transferred into survival and for hard and chaos mode. So that is now making it better for us to be able to use some other maps in more modes. I will note there have been so many new cubes added to the game that in Sandbox mode, they didn't include this. Cubes that you can spawn in Sandbox mode are now determined on what difficulty you're on. For example, on easy mode, you're going to get easy mode cubes. Medium mode, you're going to be able to spawn medium mode cubes, and etc. For hard mode, chaos. It's just because there's so many cubes, you now can only spawn a certain selection of cubes for each difficulty in Sandbox mode. Kind of makes me sad, because I mean, I do a lot of cinematic shots in Sandbox mode. It's kind of important that I'm able to spawn some cubes, specific cubes on sometimes, so I'm gonna have to be more careful with that. But we do have more cubes, beautiful, awesome cubes that are insane, like Ghost Cube and a bunch of other like ones that I can't even think of. There's you guys could probably list them in the comments or list them in your head if you want to. There's a ton. If you don't know about them, I encourage you to go check them out in Sandbox mode or in game. They're crazy. The Ghost Cube's especially cool because it's nearly invisible. So you guys go check those out yourself. Go check out the update. It's crazy. It's changed a lot of strategies. It's especially with the wave changes. Wave changes is completely brought back interest, as now everything is completely changed. But yeah, that's about everything for the update. I hope you guys did enjoy this update overview video. If you did, please consider hitting the subscribe button. Helps me out, helps grow the channel, helps gain more interest here so I can succeed better, and it also helps you out by giving you better access to content like this and letting YouTube know that you're interested in content like this. So if you are interested, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and we will have more videos out just for you guys who are interested. But then again, if you don't want to subscribe, you don't have to subscribe. That's your choice. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I will see you all in the next video. Goodbye, everybody.